stop crying. Feel all black woman. Big old like I'm a dark complexion. I think that's how the song is go. Hi, welcome back. This is Vashti. Is not a reggae radio station. I'm sorry if you were confused. My name is Dana D, and I am the host for this wonderful podcast. Yeah, welcome. So, the topic today is one that I'm really passionate about, and I'm going to try my best to contain it and not make it 20,000 hours long because I literally can talk about this all day. It is about being a black woman. And fun fact, if you did not know, disclaimer, I am a black woman and I am a Bahamian black woman. And I just want you to know that if talking about the black experience is something you are not comfortable with, I can let you know right now, baby. This ain't the episode. Slide on over to another podcast, and it's okay. You can come back to the next one. But I'm gonna get deep, and if you're not comfortable with that, just want to let you know ahead of time. But yeah, this episode is gonna be about being a strong black woman and what that really entails, what that really looks like, and how it truly affects us. So yeah, I'm gonna read an excerpt real quick that I wrote like last summer, and then we're gonna get into the episode. Stay tuned. This is something I wrote back in June of 2019. It's not necessarily like formal grammar or whatever, but yeah. The truth about being a strong black woman. Ooh, child. Ain't nothing like a strong black woman, they say. You damn right. But really, though, we go through so much just to be mistreated and expected to act like nothing ever happens. And have the bravest face going into the world. I have a message for y'all. We tired. Especially when it comes from our own. We are tired. And the saddest part is we've seen this picture of us painted so much that we are innate to it. It's like I'm enduring so much, but my assumption is this is who I am. I just got to push through because that's what black women do. And we continue on with our lives without acknowledging any possible toxic relationships or persons in our lives. We endure. We have to take care of ourselves, queens. It's time. We shouldn't be strong because we have to be, just strong because we are. So, this topic is so huge to me. It is so huge. And to put it in just a few words, like I did previously, would not be broad enough. So I'm going to try my best to contain myself when talking about this because I do want to continue this topic like with different people, like different episodes, bringing them in. Well, we don't know about the in pod because coronavirus, but listening to different perspectives and insights and experiences because we are amazing as black women and we are so complex, and not complex in a way that we are complicated, because don't get it twisted, but complex in a way that we are full of different layers. There's more than one type of black woman. There's no box. We ain't into all that. If you're watching from the YouTube, by the way, this sweatshirt, oh, there got a microphone. It's okay. This sweatshirt that I have on, where it says "a black women are greater than," period, is from My Pride Apparel. They ain't sponsoring me. I just like the way they things. That's nice, but I really like the sweatshirt. It's very appropriate for this episode. But yeah, so let's get into Dana's tea of this topic. So when I looked up the word strength on Google, I got the definition, the quality or the state of being physically strong. And I was like, and the word physically stood out to me because as a black woman, it's more than being physically strong that you need to make it in this world. It's really mental and mental strength is really what it is, and emotionally too. But mental strength is really what it is because we constantly endure, and that is the perfect word. we endure. There are different setbacks in our life that we go through. The first thing, and I am going to read on my notes because I'm really trying to contain myself. This is my topic, y'all. The first thing I wrote down was colorism. Light skin versus dark skin, 4C versus 3A, child, natural hair community, all of that. We deal with that constantly from the beginning of time. And especially where I grew up in the Bahamas, colorism was big, man. I mean, I am not a dark skinned girl, but I'm also not light skinned. So I always felt growing up that I didn't get the short end of the stick because I wasn't dark skinned, but I also wasn't the prettiest because I wasn't the lightest. I just passed. That was my idea of myself growing up. I just made it, so I was alright. We also got to deal with racism. I don't think I really need to explain that one because if you're one of those people who are like, it's 2020, people aren't racist, leave my page immediately. Or actually, no, leave my page immediately. This podcast ain't for you, boo boo. Unless you feel like you get some insight and learn something, but this podcast ain't for you. We also have to deal with sexism. That should not have to be explained as well. That should not have to be explained. Colorism, leads to insecurities. It leads to skin bleaching. It leads to the perms. And this is not to shame people for doing that. However, there are people who experience those things because they are not confident in themselves because they never experienced a positive. What am I trying to say? They never had positive reinforcement when it came to their skin tone or their natural hair texture. Something simple as that can really scar somebody for the rest of their lives. I mean, I have too been a victim of the Just For Me box. I did burn my hair and I never learned to love it until much later in my life where I was 15, 16. And sexism, other than being treated poorly because you're a woman, but also low low pay rates and not getting the job you deserve or being judged as a leader in leadership positions. You can't be a leader if you're a woman, especially a black woman. Especially if you're a black woman, you're immediately too sassy, too bossy. You're am I gonna curse on the podcast? I don't know. I've gotten that a lot in my position. I'm not even a rowdy person. I've gotten those names in my leadership positions, and that's crazy. But also your idea of your love life as a black woman changes too because you're already insecure about the fact that you're not light skinned and your hair not curly. Who gonna love you? And that's a small way to put it. And like I said, I'm trying to contain myself because if you know me, I could talk about this for days and I'm trying to save it. But yeah, that's something that stood out to me, specifically the love life. And like I said before in my little excerpt that I read, that's all we see is a strong black woman. So I thought about it. It's what did I see? Representation, that word, great. All we see in films and TV shows and what we read in books, black women endure. We are the backbone of any black story, but we don't really get the glory for it. So we just endure. You know what I'm saying? We just there to pick up the load and push through and fight off people for our children and our black man, but nobody fighting for us. That's what I see. But the love life, the love life specifically stood out to me because I often thought for a long time that love requires some type of minor or major trauma or issue I mean, you're gonna have your roadblocks and your setbacks in any kind of relationship or anything in life. There are gonna be some complications you're gonna have to fight and overcome. However, as a Black woman, I feel that is thrown upon us that we're supposed to be some type of ride or die all the time. So if he cheats, that's okay. We can work through it. If he, I don't know, if he hit, I mean, I don't want to say physical abuse, but we could work through it. He says sorry. You know what I mean? Just different things like that. And even the movies that we watch, like for example, my favorite movie, and still one of my favorite movies, is Love and Basketball. And in Love and Basketball, when I was younger, it was so cute to me. How Quincy and Monica were so in love, and when we see them in college and they're having their troubles, and Monica's like, my education, like, this is really important, and I want to help you, and I want to talk, but this is going on too, like, and this is not me ignoring you. This is saying that just like you, you in your career, I need to take care of me too. And that upset him that she chose herself. And it wasn't in a selfish way. It wasn't in a F you, Quincy. I could care less if you drop out the. It wasn't about that. It was the fact that she had this opportunity that he knew that she was working for, but still wanted her to choose him. And when I was young, I was like, why this guy ain't break curfew? She just could be straight. But now I'm older and I'm looking back like, sir, are you serious? And this is a minor example. There are definitely other movies, The Best Man, and ooh, Baby Boy is full of toxicity. Ooh, Baby Boy is terrible. But we often see the Black woman holding her life back or restraining herself. Or when she does choose herself, she's like thrown to the side. In every love story, like, I want you to sit down and think about it. The only movie that I could think about was the recent one with Issa Rae, The Photograph, where she really had to go through nothing. And I think that's why I had a hard time enjoying it, looking back, because there was no drama. I was like, oh my gosh, where's the fights? This is what we go through. And I was like, no, it don't gotta be that dramatic. It doesn't have to be that toxic. It doesn't have to be that negative. You can just, be in a relationship and be loved. Shocker. And be respected. You lied. I didn't know. So that's something we really need to think about. Yes, Bahamian just snuck right in there. But like I said, Black stories are full of struggle, and they end in triumph, but it's very rarely seen that the Black woman gets to reap the benefits of that triumph. We get the short end of the stick. Big facts. And I'm really trying to think of positive women in film, positive Black women in film and television that did not have to go through a bunch of stuff to prove their worth in life. And I can only think of Claire Huxtable, and she still had a little moment where they wanted her to talk about the Black issues, and she was like, neck roll, and told them off. But yeah, moving on to my notes. Come on, Dana. Moving on to the notes. Another thing I want to talk about with the Black women short end of the stick and being stronger than we need to be is the doggone feminist movement. I do believe in equal rights of men and women. Yes. I do not call myself a feminist because that movement is the most whitewashed thing. They just throw that whole thing in bleach. That movement does nothing for me. And essentially, I say that because I feel like that movement really wants me to choose between being Black and being a woman. And I don't have the privilege to be a woman one day and Black the other day. That's not how it works. I am a Black woman. Boom, package deal. I can't separate that. So when I see hashtag feminist down and they ain't talking about nothing. Where were y'all with Sandra Bland? You know what I'm saying? Where were y'all? Ooh, my brain is rolling. Where were y'all with all the different? Where were y'all? Where were y'all? Where were y'all with the R. Kelly situation with all those young black girls. Where y'all was? I mean, I was there. They were women. Did that not ring a bell with you? All I'm saying is don't call me a feminist. Please don't. I don't identify with them peoples. That ain't them. That is Dana. I don't have the privilege to separate my color from my gender. And that's on a period. And sticking to my notes, I'm going to really bring myself into this because I've noticed, like I said earlier, I thought for a long time that enduring and just pushing through struggles and not saying anything, I'm like being strong, is what I was supposed to do. And I'm gonna give like a broad summary because I ain't gonna go into detail because not everything is y'all business. Like I ain't, all my P's and Q's and my Genesis to Revelation. Y'all need to know everything. But I am still being transparent about what I've experienced. I definitely stayed in a relationship. My last relationship was probably why I'm tired of my next relationship that hasn't happened yet. But I stayed entirely too long, and I knew in my heart that it was time to go. But in my head, I was being the strong black woman that I was called, because I was called a strong black woman in a relationship, and that I unconsciously was taught, and I was innate to that behavior. So I had to see it through. It was just like a really dark tunnel, and I had a lighter that kept going out. But I had to get through because there was going to be brighter light at the end of this tunnel. Had to be. But in reality, I was inside a hole and I was just digging myself deeper rather than a tunnel with a pathway to lead me out. And I just kept going until something really bad, and what other words can I use other than negative? But it really impacted me mentally and physically, and that was like, okay, cut it out, cut it off. All right, no, this relationship is over, and to this day, no contact. But yeah, but it's not even just like within relationships, it's within defending yourself in different situations. Like I said in a previous episode, I had a professor that bullied me and I didn't really speak up about it because I thought that was a part, and especially because he was a black man too. And that's another episode too, black men versus black women, the miscommunication in our community, which is why we always beefing. But that was something for me to like push through because I'm like, I'm gonna show this black man that I am amazing, whatever. But in reality, I could have stood up and be like, I don't appreciate your tone, because we are adults. I was an adult. I still am an adult. And he was an adult, and we could have had an adult conversation. Or I could have reported this behind to the to the fucking student, whatever. I don't know where you report professors. But I could have done that too. I could have stood up for myself. But I was like, I'm going through this. It's going to make me a stronger person. That's great. It also made you a really sad and depressed person. And ruined your relationship with music, Dana. But you were trying to be strong because that's what you thought you were supposed to do. Or even, I think one of the biggest things that happened to me in my last year of school was altercation that happened between my organization and another. Yeah, I'll keep it like that. I'll keep it cute. And I was just, it wasn't a physical altercation. Looking back, the really bad part of me, which is like 2% of me, which kind of wishes it was, because I was angry, and I don't get angry a lot. I don't get angry. I'm disappointed is a emotion that I often relate to in situations that turn bad. But angry, that was the first time I was angry in forever. And I was shaking, like I was crying. And it wasn't because I was sad. It was because I was angry and overwhelmed, and I wanted to bust them, and they know us. But I couldn't, because I had to be strong, and I had to be a representation of what my organization stood for. And I my head up, my chin up. I was respectful. I didn't say anything disrespectful, no bad words, anything, even though it was definitely being thrown at me and my executive board. But I had to be the example and show that that was not going to bother me or deter us. But I remember at the end of that altercation, one of my e-board members came up to me and hugged me, and she was like, "You're so strong. You're so strong." And she hugged me for a really long time. And in that moment, I wanted to just drop and be like, I don't want to be strong. I'm tired of being strong. That was like the cherry on top for that semester. And yeah, school was really hard to finish after that. I had like a semester and a half left, and it was really hard to get through. But that was the cherry on top of everything that I already endured. And I didn't want to be strong. And I think admitting to how I feel and how certain things affect me and defending myself is where the real strength is. And like I said in the beginning, Black women, a lot of complexities. Like, there's a lot to talk about with this topic alone, and we'll definitely be talking about it more. But yeah, that's something that stands with me to this day as I go through life in this white supremacist country. It's crazy out here. It's hard. Do you ever like sit down, women or not, just Black in general, do you ever sit down and think about how hard it is to be Black in this country? And you can't dwell on it too long because you will send yourself in a dark circle. But we're here. We're still here. Gonna be here. I'm saying. Yeah. This is just something to think about. So yeah, I'm gonna end it with this. We are strong. We are strong. And I believe you are strongest when you acknowledge that you're not. That is where your true strength lies. Being honest with yourself and loving and protecting what's yours, which is really you. So, yeah, stay tuned for more stuff on Bush Tea. This is the end of the episode. Did I do a good job of containing myself? I don't know. Y'all let me know. This is a nice little juicy topic though. I can't wait to talk about it some more and get this sweatshirt in probably like 4 different colors. My apparel, if you want to like need a brand ambassador, hit me up. But yeah, thank you for listening. That was the chair making noise. You can follow me on Instagram at _BushT, or if you want to follow me on my personal Instagram at IamDaynaDe, Dayna spelled DAYNAH, no other way. We are available on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts. We also have a YouTube channel. Please subscribe so you can keep updated with new episodes and new videos. You never know what content I'm gonna drop. I don't even know.